That night, as I rushed to the hospital with my sister's forgotten phone clutched in my hand, I believed I was simply being the supportive sibling she'd always relied on. But when the taxi driver suddenly veered off the main road into a dimly lit alley just before midnight, his voice shook as he whispered, "Stay inside, miss. Don't make a sound." My heart pounded, and I demanded to know why. But he only replied, "You'll see in 3 minutes, trust me for your life." Frozen in fear, I obeyed, never dreaming that moments later, shadows would emerge from the darkness, revealing a truth that would shatter my world forever. Before we dive into this gripping tale, I have a quick favor to ask. Smash that like button. If you're hooked already, subscribe to her silent voice for daily untold stories that touch the soul, and drop a comment below with the city you're tuning in from. Let's connect and grow this community together. Your support means everything. The antique clock in our cozy family home ticked past 11:45 p.m., echoing through the quiet halls like a warning I couldn't yet hear. Elara had just helped her sister, Mira, pack for what Mira called an emergency overnight shift at the hospital where she worked as a nurse. Mira had kissed Elara goodbye hurriedly, claiming a sudden staffing crisis demanded her presence for a graveyard shift starting at 1 a.m. Ilara, the ever-trusting younger sister who'd idolized Mira for their 28 years together, hadn't questioned it. Mira was the strong one, the provider, always putting family first since their parents passed away 5 years ago. As Ilara tidied up the scattered nursing scrubs and bags in Mira's room, her foot bumped something under the bed. Bending down, she pulled out Mira's smartphone, the one with all her contacts, wallet app, and hospital ID badge synced to it. Panic surged through Alara. How could Mira function without it? No calls, no payments, no access to her shifts. Visions of Mira stranded at the hospital entrance, frustrated and alone, flooded her mind. Alara dialed Mira's number repeatedly from the landline, but it went straight to voicemail. Perhaps the battery was dead, or she was in a dead zone on the bus route. Glancing at the clock, 11:50 p.m., Ilara calculated she had just enough time. The hospital was 30 minutes away by cab on empty night streets. She didn't own a car, and public transport had stopped running. Without hesitation, she opened her ride-sharing app, requested a pickup to the hospital's emergency entrance, and slipped into a warm jacket, tucking Mira's phone securely in her pocket. Minutes later, a silver sedan pulled up outside their modest suburban home. The driver, a middle-aged woman named Lena with short cropped hair and a no-nonsense expression, confirmed the destination through the app. Ilara slid into the back seat, the car's heater blasting warm air that did little to ease her growing unease. Lena drove in silence, her eyes flicking to the rearview mirror more often than seemed necessary. The city lights blurred past as they merged onto the highway, but Alara's thoughts raced. Why hadn't Mira texted? Was everything okay? To distract herself, she stared out the window at the sparse traffic, whispering a quiet prayer for safe travels. As they neared the hospital district, the roads grew quieter, shadowed by tall buildings and flickering street lamps. Ilara leaned forward, expecting the bright glow of the emergency bay, but Lena suddenly swerved into a narrow side alley, killing the headlights. "What are you doing?" Ilara gasped, her hand instinctively reaching for the door. Lena locked the doors with a click, her voice low and urgent. "Stay inside, miss. Don't make a sound, your life depends on it." Terror gripped Ilara as she pounded on the window, demanding answers, but Lena's face was etched with genuine fear. 3 minutes, she muttered, "and you'll understand. Please, just trust me." The alley was pitch black, save for the faint red glow from a distant neon sign. Ilara's mind spun with horror stories of rideshare abductions, her breaths coming in shallow gasps. She clutched Mira's phone like a lifeline, debating whether to call emergency services, but what if this was a trap? Seconds dragged like hours as Ilara watched the dashboard clock. 1 minute, two. At exactly 3 minutes, chaos erupted. Headlights flooded the alley from both ends as unmarked vans screeched to a halt, blocking any escape. Armed figures in dark tactical gear poured out, shouting commands. Alara screamed, ducking low, convinced they were after her or Lena. But the agents bypassed the sedan, converging on a shadowy figure lurking behind a dumpster, the exact spot where Alara would have stepped out if Lena had stopped at the hospital entrance as planned. The man resisted, but was quickly subdued, a silenced pistol clattering from his coat pocket alongside a roll of duct tape and zip ties. An agent sniffed a rag from his bag, wrinkling his nose. Chloroform,